What's up YouTube? This is Shabazz. Welcome back to another video. It's almost 420 y'all. Happy 420. In case you didn't see my video where I talk about changing my stance and opinion and position when it comes to THCA flower, if I remember to, I'll put a link to it down in the description. If not, just go on my channel, go on my uploads. It's not that far back. Basically though, I've been really selfish and overly biased when it comes to the whole THCA thing. It's not going away anytime soon. I could be using my channel and my platform to help those of y'all who are going to buy it regardless of whatever the case, regardless of anything questionable about it. I featured THCA flower here and there on my channel a few times over the past few months, but today we're going to be doing an official dedicated video to THCA flower. And I made sure I got some of the best stuff that there's available for this first video, because the point of this is purely for you. All right, if you know anything about me, you know I am THC sensitive. With that being said, I want to get into this video though, get into this flower. Before that though, I got to give a quick shout out to my patrons over on Patreon. They are keeping my channel going and growing. My channel is not monetized, so I rely on the support of my patrons over on Patreon, everybody who cops my merch, and everybody who uses my coupon codes and links to shop. Information on all of that, including a coupon code for what you see in today's video, will be down on my landing page in the video description. I don't want to talk too much. Everybody hates that. However, a couple quick things. Fern Valley hooked me up with this shirt. It was in the package with the flower. I'm not an employee of Fern Valley. This is not a commercial or an advertisement or anything like this. I'm going to give you my honest and unbiased opinion in this video. Second thing, a quick crash course on THCA flower. I see every single day on the internet, a lot of people, I dare say most people, still are unsure of what THCA flower is. Even the average cannabis enthusiast that I run into in the wild, they think that THCA flower is some kind of like regular CBD flower or something with a cannabinoid sprayed on. And they think of THCA as an alt cannabinoid, all right? A lot of people think of this in the same light as HHC or Delta 8. THCA flower is just regular weed, okay? It is not grown differently. It is not harvested earlier. That's another big myth. Oh, it's harvested earlier so the cannabinoids can't develop. No, this is regular type 1 cannabis. Regular weed, the real deal. There's nothing sprayed on it. And I'm not talking about just this company either. THCA flower in general. Now, that's not to say that you can't find flower that's like CBD flower with THCA crystals sprayed on or whatever. But when people talk about THCA flower, it's regular weed. The reason why they call it THCA is it is a attempt at fooling the government, law enforcement, whatever, into this loophole that they call it, where it's actually legal according to the Farm Bill. Okay, so we got that out the way, all right? This is not anything sprayed on. This isn't weed that's harvested earlier. It's not frozen, nothing like that, okay? This is just regular weed, and all that they do is when they send it out for testing, they make sure that when it gets tested, it doesn't get decarbed. So all of the THC on that shows as THCA on the test results instead of Delta 9 THC. So we got 3 strains of flower from Fern Valley Farms. And this is the packaging on that. Simple packaging. This is a amber glass jar though, so that's dope, all right? It's a glass jar, no plastic, and it's amber, so it's stopping the light from getting through. And Fern Valley is a hemp farm up in Oregon, all right? We have checked out Fern Valley on this channel, their CBD flower, their actual hemp, and we will check out Fern Valley again in the near future. All right, so we got the black maple, the cream cake, and the Goofies. We also got some ice cream cake live resin, old school strain, but a classic Amnesia Haze batter. All right, so first off, let's check out the Goofies. All right, a strain like Goofies is what you call a super modern, super poly hybrid strain, all right? This is a crisscross of a bunch of super modern gelatos, runts, jet fuel, all type of stuff like that. The actual direct lineage though is apples and bananas and jokers, all right? And that created Goofies. So this is just a super gelato, runts, all of that cross, all right? Just a super modern strain. So I'm expecting a smell reminiscent of that, all right? You know, I wish type 3 flower would have smells on this level. It is super dank, super gassy. I mean, it's just packed with those VSCs, all right? I'm getting little to no terpenes out of this. I'm getting all VSCs. And in case you don't know, VSCs are volatile compounds that create those skunky and gas and diesel smells that come out in cannabis. Those are actually not from terpenes at all. Those are from VSCs. And so a strain like this, I mean, there's a little hint of the slightest hint of fruity terps in the background, like fruity candy, but overall it's just really, really gassy. It smells really similar to the jet fuel line of strains. It's definitely more diesel than it is candy. All right, it's got that classic, just a real classic gassy diesel-y smell to it. Really loud, really pungent. All right. Now, as far as the bag appeal wise goes, super frosty. This is a nice, really purple, dark purple, and like the other color is just trichome. It's like an off-white / yellow coating of icy trichomes all over it. And then the purple on it goes from a regular purple to almost a black. Super dark purple with just a little bit of green coming through and the orange from the pistils. Overall though, you know, super, you know, this is good quality flower, all right? And this is grown up in Oregon. And I would say after California, Oregon probably has the best cannabis in the country, all right? But this looks just as good as anything I could get from a dispensary here in California. Really top shelf. I mean, this is indoor type 1 flower with a modern genetic. So it's executed well. There's not much more to say. All right, so there is one nug of the Goofies. And just check out that coloration like I told you about. It's such a dark purple, it's almost black. All right, and I added some supplemental lighting, so hopefully we can see the nugs a little bit better. But there's one nug. I mean, that's some modern, you know, that you could tell that is a modern Runts cross, just from the looks on it alone. All right, let me bring y'all in as close as I can. Just take a look at that, all right? This is super frosty, super top shelf flower. You know, the smell and the bag appeal, it just speaks for itself, all right? All right, now obviously, you wanna know about the effects. Now, I could tell you about the effects just based on the lineage. All right, this is, like I said, this is a modern polyhybrid, so you're gonna get just modern hybrid effects off this. But all of these flower strains, before I recorded this video, before I'm checking any of this out, I gave these jars to Mrs. Shabazz, and her sister, my sister-in-law, they smoked a sample from each of these on separate days. All right, one time we went to the movies and they smoked. Another time we went over to some like extended family's house and they smoked before. And my brother also tried one of these strains as well. All right, Mrs. Shabazz unfortunately does not want to be on camera. I will convince her one day. All right, but her, my sister-in-law, they report the Goofies as a right in the middle type strain. Based on their description of the effects, besides the fact that it tastes good and it got them really high, they seem to describe the effects as right in the middle hybrid, all right? It didn't make them sleepy. It wasn't super energetic. They were just high AF is how basically the description I got, all right? And don't forget y'all, just because I don't do the type 1 flower personally, I've been in the cannabis industry here in California for many, many years, all right? Done a lot of work. I see a lot of flowers still to this day. This is some pretty high quality stuff, all right? I would say out of all the THCA flower that I've seen, this is up there with, you know, some of the best, all right? Because a lot of THCA flower, I'll tell y'all this, I'll say at least most of the THCA flower on the market that you could buy online is being sold as hemp. It's not hemp, it's trash. This is top shelf flower. All right, let's check out the Black Maple. Black Maple is another modern polyhybrid strain. This is a cross of Dulce de Uva and Sherbanger. All right, let's check it out. Man, that smells dank. And the Goofies and this one a little bit more though. Both certified got the white dog shit terps. All right, now if you've been on my channel, you know that if something got the white dog shit terps, that's not a bad thing. All right, the first strain I ever encountered when I coined this term was years and years ago, the Abacus Diesel. And that is because when strains have that real classic diesel smell to it, combined with other terps, because again, the diesel comes from VSCs, when you combine that with other terps, it has a smell that is very similar, very reminiscent to white dog shit on grass. All right, those of y'all who grew up in America, we're American children, you know what I'm talking about. All right, now obviously when you put it together with all the other smells and that sharp diesel smell comes through, it's a good thing. All right, it's got the white dog shit terps, but it doesn't just smell like white dog shit. All right, so that is something's got that certified white dog shit terps. It's gas. All right, super gas. This has a little bit of a different, like a slightly sweet herbal, I want to say. This one's hard to really pin down. It's got kind of like a sweet piney tree smell behind it, but on top, but the overwhelming thing you get from this is just diesel gas, just musky, earthy diesel. All right, and the nugs are looking really good. Okay, just like, you know, the Goofies, everything. This is indoor type 1 flower. The nugs on this one's a little bit smaller. I would say these are like medium small nugs. This isn't smalls. It's just, you know, your normal nug should be like that big. That's probably as big as you're gonna get, like a quarter size. So they're medium smallish nugs, but it's gonna get broken down anyways. Real nice and frosty though, a real nice trim on everything. All right, there is the black maple. As you see, real nice and tight trim job to it, real nice manicure trim, real frosty. It's got a cool little color scheme to it, but this is just a classic lime green weed look to it. All right, it's not really purple or anything like that, just a very light green. All right, bring you in closer on a different nug. You can really get the detail in that. All right, one thing that I really like in particular about Fern Valley that they are doing differently is something that really eases the concerns and sets them apart. All right, one of my main criticisms, and if y'all have been on my channel, you know I've been very outspoken about this. One of my main criticisms about the whole THCA flower industry is that it's not CBD flower, it's not hemp, so it's not regulated by any states or the government at all. So people could be selling you anything, literally any strain. They could be calling it whatever they want. It could be grown in any type of ways, heavy metals, pesticides, PGRs, you have no idea. The THCA world is essentially just an online open black market. All right, there's no control, there's no regulation, there's no accountability. However, one thing that Fern Valley does, Fern Valley actually tests their THCA flower for pesticides and heavy metals. All right, so that is a huge game changer. That, for this company at least, and their flower kind of alleviates most of my concerns. All right, that kind of brings it on par with the legal recreational or medicinal cannabis game. All right, and again, y'all, this is not an advertisement for Fern Valley. I'm just telling y'all the truth. All right. So the black maple, the effects reports that I got and witnessed, this is definitely more of an indica dominant hybrid. Definitely caused some laziness, some couch lockiness, even a report that it gets you a little bit too high. All right. So that's the black maple. That's not a strain I've ever checked out before. It has a real nice gassy strain to it. And both these strains so far, if I could smoke them and taste them and everything, I'm sure they would get the Shabazz seal of approval. Unfortunately though, I can't give something that without actually being able to use it, but I can absolutely say though, it's high quality flower, all right? And don't forget, I'm in California, we got the best of the best. So my standards for what good flower is pretty high, all right? Last but not least, we have the cream cake. And let me just say, this strain, when my brother seen it, it looked so good, he went and bought an ounce of it, all right? That was his reaction to it, all right? This is a cream cake, and this is a cross of LA Kush cake and cream, all right? Let's check it out. Oh my God, I already seen it, man. Okay, this has a nice modern cannabis smell to it. It is not as forwardly gassy and stanky as those first two strains though. This literally has a much more sweet, creamy smell to it. I would say this smells like sour, gassy cake batter or vanilla frosting or something like that. Like whipped cream. It's a sour, gassy, creamy batter frosting. If that, you know, it's kind of just a vanilla creamy vibe to it, all right? Let me tell you what though, when people talk about rapper weed, okay, and that's kind of an inside joke with some of y'all here on my channel, this meets the definition of rapper weed, just based on looks. This is that like alien looking weed where you're just like, you see it on the internet, you see it in videos or social media and you're like, damn, I really can't wait and I hope that type 3 flower can get to this level of looks, appearance wise. This is absolutely insane. This is some of that flower, if you've never seen any before in real life, where the trichome production is so insane. The trichomes kind of take over and populate the buzz like some kind of fungus or parasite. It's so frosty and it's so caked in trichomes, you can barely see the plant material, the leaves and stuff, the calyxes, the actual flower material is almost not visible. Just take a minute to look at that. All right, just take a minute, gather yourself. That is extremely frosty cannabis. All right. That is some of the frostiest cannabis I have ever seen. All right. It is just so caked with trichomes. It's hard. The bud is hard. It feels crystallized. This is a different nug. I'll bring y'all in a little bit closer. It's extremely frosty. It's extremely caked in trichomes. Visually, this is by far, you know, I've seen various THCA flower here and there. This is by far the best online weed that I've come across. And this definitely, it matches up looks wise with some of the best weed I've seen in person here in California. All right. And you can tell when people aren't like real cannabis connoisseurs, because from like Mrs. Shabazz, she got some of this and broke it down. And not one time did I hear like, oh, wow, you know, that's super frosty or super pretty. Just didn't even notice, didn't even care. All right. That's crazy. All right. And this is actually the strain that she broke down and smoked before we went to the movie theater. Again, nice hybrid. My brother, he said he broke it down. He's more experienced. He broke it down. He said this is like 60% indica, 40% sativa on the effects. All right. So it's a slightly indica dominant hybrid cross. All right. Super crazy looking. It's not as loud as the other ones, but honestly, just for the looks by itself, that is buck wild. All right. That's buck wild. All right, I couldn't find anybody to volunteer to try these concentrates for me. However, they are concentrates, all right? And these are T1 concentrates, they're type 1 concentrates. And this right here is a live resin ice cream cake, and that's coming in at 84% total active cannabinoids, 66% THC. You can see it through the bottom of the jar as well. It's sealed. Let's check it out. Admittedly, I'm not a huge concentrates expert. I have used my fair share of concentrates, but it's mostly been from the CBD world. You know, take that as you will. Okay. Really sweet, almost fruity smelling. It smells really sweet, artificial sugary sweet, like you would get on a cake. It doesn't smell like, it smells really terpy, like a live resin smells, as opposed to like a rosin that smells more like raw plant material. This is a very terpy, all right? Go ahead and check out the consistency and everything. It's got the color of peanut butter. That definitely looks good. I absolutely cannot mess with this. It's 66% type 1 concentrate. Not much more needs to be said about this. All right, if you are not an experienced user, this will send you into the shadow realm. All right, and then we got the Amnesia Haze batter. Right, there's the front of the jar and then there's the bottom of the jar. You can see the batter. We'll unseal it and check it out though. I personally think batter is one of the better looking concentrates. It looks more appealing, and that is no exception. All right, that looks really appealing. It has a very, it's a haze strain, all right? So one of the main things I'm getting is terpenoline off of there. A very hazy, kind of citrusy, but overall terpenoline heavy smell. People have a love-hate relationship with terpenoline. You either love it or you hate it. Alex B, we absolutely know you hate it, and you would hate this. But if you like terpenoline, if you like any haze strains, sativa dominant stuff, this looks really good. Just check that out. And again, I'm not a concentrate expert, but I've seen my fair share of concentrates, even, you know, ones I haven't used. And to me, that looks pretty good. All right. That looks appetizing. That looks clean. It has a nice, firm consistency to it. This is something, if I was shopping for concentrates, this is what I would want. All right. There's Fern Valley's THCA. I mean, they got more, but that's what I'm trying out. The THCA flower, their THCA concentrates. And remember, this isn't hemp. This isn't CBD flower with stuff sprayed on. It's not harvested early, grown different. This is regular weed, all right, that you can order and buy online. Now, with that being said, don't be fooled into thinking that if you get pulled over with this or stopped by the police in an illegal state, that you could get by with saying, oh, well, this is THCA, it's illegal, it's online. That's not gonna fly, all right? Treat this as you would anything else, whether you're in a legal or an illegal state, all right? Don't get caught up, don't get a ticket, don't get arrested or anything like that. Treat this with extreme caution. If you do want to check it out, I got a coupon code for you, which will be down on my landing page in the video description. That's not a affiliate code. I don't get a commission or anything like that. It'll just help you out, save you some money on your purchase, all right? So this was my first time making some content for the Type 1 community, my followers here on the channel. What did y'all think about it? Whenever THCA is on the table, I talk a lot because there's just so much bad information about it online. There's bad people selling it. There's bad flour, there's bad information, there's myths, there's misinformation, there's a lot to go through, all right? Not everybody is as knowledgeable as you who might be watching, all right? And you who might be watching might find this information very valuable. If you have tried Fern Valley's THCA flower, let me know what you think about it down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this flower I showed you down in the comments. Also, make sure you join the Discord, all right? That's where it's at, all right? Hit like if you liked the video, hit me up down in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications so you can see when I upload new content. I appreciate each and every one of y'all so much, and I sincerely hope you have an amazing rest of your day or night. I'm gonna catch you on the next video. Happy 420. Peace.